Acknowledgement of country. The Australian government acknowledges the traditional owners of the country throughout Australia and acknowledges their continuing connection to land, waters, and community. We pay our respects to the people, the cultures, and elders past and present.
And welcome to Thinking Beyond Technology, a computational thinking in the early years. My name is Hillary, and today I'm joined by Annie.
Hi!
Mary.
Hello, guys!
And Randy.
Hi!
We're delighted you joined us to explore computational thinking, an approach to problem solving that is becoming increasingly important in early childhood education. When people hear computational, they often think of computers or robots. But in early childhood, computational thinking is much broader. It's not about teaching complex technology skills, it's about nurturing children as curious thinkers, confident problem solvers, and creative learners through everyday play. As educators, we already see this when children build, sort, complete puzzles, follow routines, and collaborate. The early years learning framework reminds us that children learn best when they are active participants in play-based experiences, supported by responsive relationships and intentional teaching. Today, we'll explore three key questions. What is computational thinking? How can educators support it? And why is it important in the early years? So Annie, can you discuss us what is computational thinking?
Okay, thanks, Hillary. Wing described computational thinking as a problem-solving process where people break problems into smaller parts, recognize patterns, focus on the most important information, and plan logical steps towards a solution. Young children do this naturally. Imagine a group building a bridge with the blocks. They decide what to build. Test different ideas, notice which blocks make the bridge stronger, and adjust when it collapses. They are planning, testing, problem solving, and trying again. And I think that's computational thinking.
That's good, Annie. This shows that children don't need devices to develop computational thinking. Ordinary play provides rich opportunities for them to think logically, experiment, and reflect.
Arnott emphasizes that digital technologies should never replace child-centered learning. They should extend children's thinking while respecting their choices and agency. This aligns with EYLF principles and practice of secure, respectful, and reciprocal relationships and responsiveness to children. When we listen carefully to children and build on their interests, they feel valued and motivated to explore. A recent OECD review of computational thinking in early childhood highlights that tools and curriculum must be playful, developmentally appropriate, and short, engaging experiences rather than formal instruction.
Computational thinking fits naturally within play-based learning. When children solve a puzzle or sort shells, they compare, classify, notice patterns, and make decisions, all important computational thinking skills.
Absolutely, Mary, and it's not a separate subject we add on. Computational thinking is woven through everyday experiences. Building hobbies, planning games, or helping with routines, children plan, negotiate, and solve problems together. A recent review of computational thinking with children aged 3 to 6 found that computational thinking developed most effectively when embedded in existing curriculum and daily routines, rather than taught as standalone lessons.
And also, you know what, Randy? This is why computational thinking links so strongly to the EYLF. When children investigate, explore, create, experiment, and solve problems, we support them as confident and involved learners and strengthen collaboration, creativity, and resilience.
And now, let's consider how we, as early childhood educators, can intentionally support computational thinking in everyday practice. The EYLF reminds us that children learn best through play, relationships, and experiences that build on their strengths and interests. Our role is to create rich environments where children feel confident to investigate, experiment, and ask questions. If children are building a tall tower, instead of saying, That's not the right way. We might ask, what do you think made your tower fall? Or what could you try differently next time? These questions invite children to predict, test, and reflect rather than simply receiving an answer.
Often, it's our interaction, not the materials, that deepen thinking. If children are building a road for toy car, we can ask, how can we make a bridge strong enough? Or what happens if we make the road longer? Open-ended questions encourage investigation, comparison, and collaborative problem solving. A recent study comparing plug-in and unplugged computational thinking activities with 5 to 6 years old found that children's cooperative behaviors were influenced more educator guidance than by the type of tools used. This reflects Vygotski's idea that children learn best when adults provide just right support in their zone of proximal development.
That's right, Randy. Storytelling is another powerful context for computational thinking. When we read picture books, we can pause and ask, what might happen next? Why did the character make the choice? Or could there be a different ending? Children practice predicting, sequencing, and explaining their thinking, supporting both computational thinking and literacy. This reflects the EYL practice of intentional teaching, where we use conversations and questions to extend learning.
Also, computational thinking connects across key learning areas, creating patterns with natural materials, supporting recognition and organization. Following a simple recipe helps children think about what comes first, next, and last. Music also and movement involved rhythmic patterns and sequences.
Outdoor learning offers many computational thinking opportunities. Building a cubby, creating an obstacle course, or planning a treasure hunt encourages children to plan, test, and adjust their ideas together. These experiences support outcome too, as children connect with and contribute to their world through respectful collaboration.
When children persist after something doesn't work, such as a marble run collapsing, they develop resilience, changing the design, seeking help, and trying again supports outcome 3, where children build well-being through confidence and persistence.
And another thing, digital technologies can also support computational thinking when used intentionally. With Bebots or similar robots, children play step-by-step direction, predict outcomes, and debug when their robot doesn't reach the target. The learning is in planning, predicting, testing, and refining, not just pressing buttons. And Arnott reminds us that technology should enrich thinking, not dominate learning. A 2024 study on Scratch Junior found that the short, playful coding sessions significantly improve preschoolers' understanding of algorithms and representation, that the children actively engage in problem solving throughout describes environments like Scratch Junior as coding playgrounds that invite children to think and create.
Good point, Annie. This shift our focus from how long are children using technology to how are they engaging with it. If they are creating, collaborating, communicating, and solving problems, digital experiences are supporting meaningful learning.
The EYLF encourages us to see children as capable learners who bring their own ideas and experiences into every situation. When we observe carefully and build on their interest, computational thinking emerges naturally. Children ask questions, make predictions, test ideas, and reflect, strongly supporting outcome 4 as confident and involved learners.
As they share ideas, negotiate, and represent their thinking through talk, drawing, building, and symbols, they also strengthen outcome 5 as effective communicators. Computational thinking is not just a trend. It helps children become confident, capable learners. Computational thinking supports skills students will use throughout life, solving problems, making decisions, working with others, and thinking creatively. Research shows computational thinking benefits mathematics, science, literacy, engineering, creativity, and collaboration. A recent study of a coding curriculum with preschoolers found that structured coding experiences improved computational thinking and also led to measurable gains in math, language, and social emotional skills, When we support computational thinking, we strengthen multiple EYLF outcomes at once.
Importantly, computational thinking is not about turning young children into programmers. It's about helping them become curious, resilient learners. When a tower falls or a robot doesn't follow the path, these moments become opportunities to reflect, try a new strategy, and learn that mistakes are part of learning. This supports outcome 3 as children build confidence and perseverance.
And also, computational thinking encourages children to be active participants in their learning rather than waiting for adults to provide answers. They ask, "What if I try this? Why did that happen? And how can I make it work?" This curiosity is a strong foundation for lifelong learning. And this reflects the EYL vision of children as confident, creative, connected, and active learners with agency in their own learning. Arnett reminds us that technology should extend children's thinking while keeping relationship, play, and children's voices at the center. Recent work on the equity and computational thinking suggests that early childhood is a crucial window for building confidence in computational thinking before stereotypes about who belongs in computing take hold, supporting inclusive practice for all children.
Our discussion shows that computational thinking happens every day through play, building with blocks, creating patterns, puzzles, cooking, outdoor exploration, and simple programmable toys like we all mentioned about B-bots all support the same core thinking skills. Our role is to recognize these opportunities and extend them through meaningful conversations, thoughtful questions, and engaging experiences. This reflects EYLF practices such as play-based learning, intentionality, responsiveness to children, and thoughtful learning environments.
In a constantly changing world, capabilities like critical thinking, adaptability, communication, and creative problem solving are essential. We may not know exactly which technologies children will use in the future, but we can support the thinking skills they need. Early Childhood Australia reminds us that it's not about increasing screen time, but about ensuring the digital experiences are meaningful, creative, and balanced with rich hands-on play. Recent reviews also highlight that educator confidence and ongoing professional development are key to effective computational thinking integration. When educators understand computational thinking and feel supported, they better able to notice, extend, and document computational thinking learning across the day.
As we come to the end of today's podcast, we've explored what computational thinking is, how educators can support it, and why it's important in early childhood. Our key takeaway is that computational thinking is more than technology. It's about helping children ask questions, solve problems, think creatively, and learn through play. As early childhood professionals, we can nurture these skills by creating meaningful, play-based experiences that support the EYLF vision of children becoming confident, connected, creative, and active learners. Before we finish, we'd like to leave you with one question. How can you recognize and extend computational thinking in your everyday practice? Whether it's during black play, as we have discussed earlier, storytelling, outdoor exploration, or everyday routines, opportunities to develop computational thinking are already all around us. Thank you for joining us for Thinking Beyond Technology, computational thinking in the early years. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to see computational thinking as a valuable way of thinking that can be nurtured every day through play, intentional teaching, and meaningful relationships. So from all of us, Hillary, Annie, Mary, and Randy, thank you for listening.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.